Hello, my name is Glenn Price, and I am the theater director at University High School in Waco, Texas. And I'm going to be sharing with you a thing I call characterization through choreography. It allows us to explore some things and play with some of the text and use music as a background to really um, dive into some work and do some things. So before we begin that, some background history or some background about me is that my bachelor's degree is in dance, and then my master's is in theater. And I have been doing dance as far back as I can remember, and theater at least since high school. And I love both, and they are both intertwined into my program. Something that I say is that I attack every script as a ballet, and I want the characters to move and to tell a story, not only with their words, but with their body. There's so much about the human body that tells the truth, that you cannot hide um, on stage. And so it's very important that when you are acting and when that you are storytelling, that your body is as engaged as it can be. And you're not just saying the words to get them right, but you're saying the words to invoke an emotion that is real and is authentic. And so we're going to talk more about that with um, how do you approach this? So when you work on characterization, there's some things you have to do first. First, you have to read the play. And I know that sounds really trivial, like, of course, you should read the play. But if you're also doing this to work on monologues for college auditions or, for class or something, because this is a great technique, it allows you to really dissect the work. You have to know the play. You have, even if you're just doing a small snippet of a scene, if you just do a piece of the scene, you're doing a disservice to yourself because you're not understanding where the character came from and where they're going. And so the body needs to know where they start and where it's going to end up. So number one, you need to read the play through cover to cover. I would suggest reading it 3 times. I make all my actors read their plays 3 times, even if they're doing college auditions, so that way they fully understand where this character is going. 2, you need to do research and script analysis. Can you just wing it? Yes. Will it be as good? No. And as a director, you can always tell, because your body invests, your brain invests in what is going on. And it's not about shock value or is it beautiful or is it stunning? It's about, is it authentic? Do you truly believe that? And lastly, you need to be okay with your body. And what I mean by that is knowing how you move and what's in, and how you enter and exit a space. And so something I mean by that is you don't do pirouettes and you don't do fouettes, and you're not just doing dance movement to do dance movement, but you're moving with a purpose. Dance and choreography is not about dance technique. It's about movement. It's about authentic movement that is correct for what you're doing. So for instance, if I am going to say, if I'm doing Hamlet and say to be or not to be, I'm not going to say to be or not to be. I'm not going to, because that seems too harsh. That's not authentic to what I would do. Because I am a trained dancer, I know how to make the energy flow through my fingertips. I may say to be or not to be. That is the question. And what that says to an audience member in that moment may be He knows where he's going to go. He knows what he's going to do. Hamlet's about to strike. Or I could go simple, to be or not to be. That is the question. And that says something different. But your body and those moments are fully involved in what's going on. So why do we do this? Why is this important? It helps everyone understand what's going on in the scene. It lets directors know that you did your research and you know what you're doing. It lets the actor know, okay, I'm invested, I get this. Something, a little tidbit, everybody can dance, everybody can move. Now your rhythm may not be on, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to not be on a beat. It's okay if your beat's a little off. Some characters a little off. Some people in this world a little off. That's okay. Another thing, it helps you find unique moments and unique ways to tell the text. Like this moment is now in my memory bank of going, maybe he's playing with it. Maybe he doesn't know really which way to go. Maybe this is a shot in the dark for Hamlet. And it allows the character to meet you at the crossroads. Like, I am arriving as the actor, the character is arriving as the character, and now we can meet and work together. It helps the directors clarify mood and the intent of the scenes. If your body's not telling me what to do, if your body's not telling the story, I could take away the words and use music, and it should be the same. And I should be able to tell what's going on. If I'm not, then that's a problem. And this works for realism, fantasy, conceptual, dramatic comedies. It works for everything because the body's engaged. The body does not lie, y'all. And the last one, which is my favorite, it forces actors to make strong character choices. Now, why is that important? If the actors come to the table with something and it is true, but maybe off, the director has the wherewithal to be able to mold that actor to get them where they need to be. Or for another actor to see another actor and maybe feed them some other things or give them something to work with, because they can do the same movement, but because our bodies are different, they may portray it differently. So it allows us to see ourselves and replicate. So some things that I wanted to share. Lastly, this is it's just fun. It's a fun way for me to do a show. I've been told that my plays, no matter what they do, they just move beautifully on stage. And part of it is because they own who they are. My actors are not trained dancers, and I don't expect them to be, but I expect them to commit to the movement that they're doing wholeheartedly. It helps me as a director become invested in the scene with them. It allows me to really play with them, and it makes it fun. So here is a piece of what we did. We're working on Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime for our fall show. Okay, so now we're recording. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm Glenn Price, and these are my two students, Tyler Wade, and then Gabby. And they're my varsity theater students. They're part of University Theater, our program. And today we're gonna show and demonstrate how we use choreography to do characterization and some stylistic blocking and some things. So right now we're working on The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. And for us, both of these students are going to explore Christopher's world. Christopher's autistic. And he's on the spectrum of understanding, he's on the spectrum of autism, and we're exploring his understanding and his mannerisms and his world. And so we're going to look at scene 4 in Act 1, where he is at the police station. He's already been booked for hitting an officer. And he talks about the stars. Tyler, can you give me a kind of a breakdown as to why we feel the stars are important?
For Christopher's character, the way he experiences emotions isn't how most people will. It's not easy to identify for people who don't know how to care for an autistic person. So how Christopher gets away from stressful situations is by putting himself in another place. In this situation, he's very stressed out, so he decides to get as far away as possible from where he is, his environments, and that happens to be the Milky Way for him. It's a comfort place for him. It's like how in therapy they'll ask for you to imagine your safe space, and his safe space happens to be as far away as possible from where he is.
Okay, thank you. So as you can tell, Tyler is actually playing Christopher in our fall show. And Gabby will be playing Siobhan. We're not going to talk about Siobhan right now because we're just going to focus on Christopher, because Christopher is actually manipulating a lot of the play. And we have talked about that because everybody in the play that Christopher comes in contact with is actually part of his memory, except for Siobhan. His mother and father come in and out of the real world and his world. But the only person who's actually in his world the whole time is Siobhan. With that being said, we're going to explore the Milky Way and what that looks like and what that seems like with Christopher. So we're going to use a line that he uses, which is, some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For a long time, scientists were puzzled by the fact that the sky is dark at night, even though there are billions of stars in the universe. Okay. And so we're going to use this little moment to create a beautiful world on our stage. Normally I would do this with a full class and a full group of people, or if I was working with a student, I would do this also with a monologue to prepare them for auditions or such, but it lets them dissect each piece with what their body's comfortable with, and then with what we feel is necessary to pull this character off or to tell this important moment. So let's look at each line. Some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. So Gabby, I'm gonna start with Gabby. Before we start with this, I wanna say that dance and movement, everybody can do. Now, you may not be on rhythm, but that's okay. Because it's about what you're comfortable with and what you feel is necessary. Now, because we're doing Zoom, where you may see a lot of arm movement, but I asked my students to do levels and do groundwork. Last year we did monster, we did lifts. So we use this technique in very different ways, but it allows us to have fun and explore. So I'm going to actually do it with them. I didn't tell them this, but I'm going to do it with them. And I'm just going to use my hands because you can only see from here up. So I'm going to choreograph with my hands and let them choreograph with their bodies. So some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars. So how can we, let's break this down. So some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but so we're gonna stop at let's stop at stars. Okay. So what are some movements we could put with that moment to let us see his world? Gabby.
Well, like the line before it, considering since like the Milky Way isn't a long line of stars, and like he's like explaining that like it's not really, maybe if you like show a line moving instead, because it's not just like all around.
Okay. So can you use that line and do your movement, please?
Yeah.
Or come up with a movement?
Some people
and Tyler
think,
prepare for that.
huh?
I was telling Tyler to prepare for that as well.
Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars.
Okay, so you did an outreach, and I realized that you elongated the word long. So can you do that one more time, please?
Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars.
All right, so Tyler, can you do your version of that, please?
Okay. I'm trying to think of something. I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Is it fine if I do something similar, but
yes,
like
it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
Some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars.
Okay, so you get across the body. Okay, I like that. That's a cool part. And see, for the ensemble on the back, I would have them mimic it. It's like maybe at different rates. So if you did long line of stars, maybe I may go long line of stars. And that would help break that up. So let's all do it together. We're gonna go off of your cue, Tyler.
Okay. Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars.
And we would finish that moment. And then, but I'm gonna go, some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars. Now that's a lot of hand movement, but that gives you something to look at. Again, I'm only using this portion of my body. So, but it isn't. So let's add, but it isn't.
With my part?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Gabby.
Okay. Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't.
Okay, Gabby.
Okay. Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't.
Okay. All right, so that's good. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. Let's do that.
Me?
Yes, let's start with you.
Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across.
Okay. Let's do, can you take the push and can you turn with it? So that way we can see the star swirl a little bit.
Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across.
Awesome, beautiful. Okay, Tyler, your turn, please.
All right. I'm sorry, I forgot the line. I have to look again.
It's okay, it's okay.
Okay. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across.
Okay, so I like the pointing part. So the beautiful thing about the pointing part, maybe as a director, I would say, as you point, their lights come on. So like we'll have flashlights or something, and so you'll point and their lights will come on, and then they could move as you continue talking. So we're gonna use those two lines, and I'm going to put music with it, and then I want you to say your line individually. So Gabby, you'll go first, and then Tyler, you'll go. I'm gonna put some music on the background here. Hope you can hear it. And then I want you to say it and perform it. So, and let the music move you first. Actually, to the back, we're not going to say the lines. We're just going to do the, we're going to just use the music and not the lines. So for directors or students, you use the music that you feel would match the mood, not the music that you want to use for the show. And here's why. The mood of the music, you want to make sure is there because you want the mood, you want the personality of the characters to come through. This is like their theme song for the moment. I don't like to use show music until like right before we go on, so that way it's fresh and they're always constantly reacting to the new music. I like to give them sub music because otherwise they get accustomed to it and it becomes flat. So, all right. So let me log on real quick here. Come on, music. Come on. Oh, sorry, my mouse is kind of dying on me. How about y'all practice? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Here we go. All right. So, Gabby, you want to go first? Ready? Whenever you feel, I'm going to play the music. Whenever you feel led, you just do the movement.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Tyler, you want me to start over or you want to continue?
We can start over.
Okay. Great job. Good job. So Tyler, what I want you to do is to see you from that moment. I want to see you when you point, because I know you say millions of light years across. Is that what the pointing is? So
Yeah.
I want you, do you want to go?
Yeah, I changed it up to where like I ended up in the like facing the front by the time I got done with the spinning part because I thought it was weird. Yeah.
Okay. And we're on Zoom, so yeah, you want to face the audience. Okay, so let's add, I was gonna have you do some things, but I think they'll understand. So for a long time, scientists were puzzled by the fact that the sky is dark at night, even though there are billions of stars in the universe. That's a long line. Yeah. So let's break that down. So for a long time, scientists were puzzled. Let's start there. For a long time, scientists were puzzled.
That's a weird line.
Isn't it?
Yeah, for a movement.
Okay, so what do you think is the important, what do you think is the important word right there?
Puzzled.
That could move that line into movement.
I feel like puzzled is the big word in there.
Puzzled, okay. Gabby? Do you think the same thing or do you feel different?
The same thing, yeah.
Okay, so how do we get puzzled? How do we get to puzzled?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Then let's look at movement that could resemble, let's look at movement that could resemble a puzzle. Mm-hmm. So like think like maybe a Rubik's Cube. So like how you maneuver a Rubik's Cube in your hand. Mm-hmm. Maybe that could work. Maybe seeing two forces come together and work. That's a puzzle as well.
Mhm.
Maybe something that locks, because you have to think puzzles aren't all jigsaw. So as
Yeah.
long as something fits together, it is a puzzle. Now we know that they're puzzled, as in they are stumped. So that's also a play on words.
Yeah.
That we could use. So you could use maybe a slight like movement where they lose their balance. Scientists were puzzled as to why things, whatever the line is.
Mhm.
And let's try something. We'll play with that a little bit. Gabby, I'll let you go first. Tyler, give you some time to play.
Okay.
There's no wrong answer. Let's just have fun.
Yeah. Okay. So for a long time, scientists were puzzled by the. Are we going further?
No, let's just stop there. They were puzzled. Do it again.
For a long time, scientists were puzzled.
Okay.
I don't
So
know,
you okay. So you did the here. They were puzzled. All right. Let's Tyler, let me see what you got. What did you come up with?
I really like the Rubik's Cube movement that you did.
Okay.
I didn't really like do it though, like kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so let's put it on its feet.
All right. For a long time, scientists were I don't know how to do that and make it big. Yeah, see,
no, I think you did well. Like you started here, and as you talked, it got bigger and bigger. And so
yeah, because the problem. Yeah, and I was also thinking because the problem gets bigger as well.
Okay.
As like time goes on.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that part again. It's okay.
All right. For a long time, scientists were puzzled.
Okay, do it one more time.
All right. For a long time, scientists were puzzled.
All right. So let's put that all together. I mean, I don't think we have to go further than that. Those 3 lines or 2.5 lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's put those together.
All of it.
Yeah. Tyler, actually, you go first, and then Gabby, you go first. I mean, you go next.
From some people, right?
Yes.
Okay. Some people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For a long time, scientists were puzzled.
And then there's more that happens. Okay, great. That wasn't bad. How did it feel?
It felt good, yeah. Like it felt better.
Okay. Gabby?
Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For years, scientists were puzzled.
Okay, awesome. So the other part about this is that I like using this is you start to realize that as you do the movement with the words, it kind of gives you something to go towards. Your body has this memory of what should go next, right? Like you're like, oh, okay, so this is where I should be. So it's sort of like blocking. Now we're gonna do this with music. But this time I want you to say the words with it. Okay? So, all right, who wants to go first? Yay, Gabby, yay! All right, I'm gonna start over the song. And we're going to, as you transition, have your moment, make it big, make sure I can hear you, and commit to the movement fully. Okay?
Some people believe that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For years, scientists were puzzled.
Awesome. That was beautiful. And this
I
music doesn't even go to this show. That's what's so great about it. It doesn't go to this show. I'm gonna change this music up on y'all. Y'all gonna be real mad, but that's fine. All right, Tyler, you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be. Let's go.
Okay.
Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For a long time, scientists were puzzled.
Awesome, beautiful. Okay, awesome. Great. Now, this is where I would check as a director that they understand fully what's going on. Because I'm going to change the mood. I'm going to give them a song that they haven't heard, they haven't listened to, they don't know. Is to make sure that the movement is solid. They're still committing to their to the objective of the words and the movement, but the mood's changing. So we kind of did this last year where we would block a scene and we would move it around and do some things with it. And I literally changed the set probably every other day. And I see them like they said some bad words to me because they were really bad sometimes. So we're just gonna ignore that. But so in this type of creative expression and creative movement, the music is the set. So if this is too fun, because it is very ethereal. So maybe I want it more grounded. Maybe I want it like when he goes to the galaxy or he goes somewhere else, it's really a really dark place and he just want to be left alone. So we're going to try another song. Again, they haven't heard this song before. So are y'all ready? I'm gonna let y'all listen to it one time. And then I'm gonna play it over and then Gabby will go first and then Tyler will go second. Okay? I hear it. All right, I think I got something right here. All right, you got something? All right, so Gabby, you want to go first or Tyler, you want to go first? Because I know I said Gabby, but Gabby's like, ah! Gabby, so good? Or Tyler, do you want to go first? Gabby, so good? Okay. So yeah, I'm going to start it over. And then I want to hear it with, you want to just try movement first without words?
I don't know. I feel like words too.
Okay, let's just go with words then.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start over. Start over. Turn it up.
Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For years, scientists were puzzled.
Definitely changed the feel, didn't it? Yeah, it did. I was like, now I kind of feel bad for Chris. Like, maybe like, I don't want to
Yeah,
do
that's
this.
You sound
All right,
like
you
he's
ready?
having a mental breakdown.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
All right.
So this may be too intense for that part of the scene, but it allows us to explore and see where we want him to go.
Yeah.
So you want to try Tyler?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, here we go.
I can't hear it anymore. Sorry. It got really quiet. There it goes. Yeah. No, good. Some people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across. For years, scientists were puzzled.
Okay, so you attacked it. Okay. So, actors, question. What did this exploration, because this is the first time we've done this year. So what did this exploration kind of help you figure out about the story?
Like what Tyler?
You can go. It's fine.
Are you asking about about the movement or like the changing in the music? Or
either or, whatever you feel that you've learned through this real quick.
Okay. Tyler, do you want to say what you were saying?
I mean, I was just going to say that that there are many, though you have the script and that you're usually supposed to stick to what the lines are saying, the interpretation can change based on what movements you choose and the characterization that you give, especially because autism, it's on a spectrum. So before you even start the show, you should learn what Christopher's autism is like in order to go about the story, because it does affect every single little detail in the play. So I feel when you're doing the movement, it helps you bring character to, and it helps you discover that as well.
Right. Thank you, Tyler. Gabby?
I like the whole process of going through with making the movements based on what you believe the scene is doing and portraying, and then going through and doing different types of moods through music, because then you can see how broad it can change and stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. And well, that's what I'll have to say. Awesome. Thank y'all. I'm going to let y'all go now. Thank y'all so much. Yay for helping me with this. And we will talk later because we got rehearsal soon. So, all right. See y'all later, guys.
Bye.